The NCAA has come out and become the NCAA, again, non-caring assholes of America. How about this fucking thing? So yesterday, Kermani McClain walked on at Florida. And the irony of this is the NCAA has now said, oh, let's get rid of walk-ons and reduce our rosters to 85 people.
Oh, no.
I want you to hear one person's take before your take.
First thing to recognize is that, I mean, this is going to be decided by lawyers and not football people. So there's so many ramifications for it. Where's the money going to go? Is it going to be split 50-50 via Title IX? Is it going to prevent us from being sued for 10 years, 20 years? What's going to happen? And so there are so many questions. I think a model whereby there is revenue sharing with the players, seems fair. I just don't know how many schools are going to be able to do it. We're blessed here at Nebraska. We're going to fully fund everything that you're allowed to do. And I've never seen anything wrong with investing in young people. I've just never seen anything wrong with, for every story you hear about, kids showing up in Ferrari Testarossas and all that stuff, I can tell you 7 stories about kids that are, sending money home or taking care of a sister or taking care of a mother. You guys are doing amazing things. They're preparing for the future. So I think a model where there's revenue sharing would be great. I think the key thing will always be whether they're employees or not. I think a lot of coaches would like the players to be employees, understanding the ramifications of that, understanding the need for collective bargaining. But I think all of us, it's hey, I have the ability to transfer, but I can also get paid and get tampered with. I mean, I have to call coaches all the time and say, Coach, can you tell your guys to please stop calling so-and-so? And it's gotten more and more brazen each year. And so, a model like the NFL where guys are under contract, whether it's be for a year, 2 years, 4 years, I just think at least there's way more transparency, because there's no transparency in contracts right now. There's no transparency in terms or anything like that. And I don't know if that's good for young people moving forward, not to have things written out and be done the right way.
We're going to dive into some other things, Matt, but Matt, I'm going to get Matt on the show as well. I texted him earlier. You've had him on. You talk to him all the time. I've known him for years, recruiting. We recruited the same kid one year. It's ironic story. When he was at Temple, a kid named Jagger Gardner, freak of nature, big-time player, but he got him at Temple. I thought I was going to get him at Garden City. Here's the thing. When you become employees, Matt, that you can touch on this because you employ people as I used to do when I sent guys to get Division I jobs. My job is to get that guy to the next level, not hold him here, for instance, at a JUCO.
Facts.
When you become employees, though, I'm scared that it is going to cost and open up a new can of worms, because now are you gonna get benefits? Are you gonna get sick time? Are you gonna get bereavement pay? Are you gonna get fucking benefits and health benefits? I'm worried that this becomes an absolute shit show, because do they get sick pay? Are players gonna say, I'm not coming to practice today? I'm an employee of the fucking college. And when you're a private university, Matt, Penn State, Stanford, Cal, USC, Vanderbilt, I'm worried, Duke, Wake Forest, is that going to be a whole nother can of worms, because they don't have to declare what they make, because those private institutions don't have to show you what their income is. So it's going to be it's a slippery slope, dog, and I'm worried where college football is headed.
Well, okay, so look.
I know that's different than what we were originally going to talk about. We're going to take your take after this.
You want me to go on the walk-ons or the business part first? What do you
do?
Want
The
to do?
business first, and then we'll do your walk-on, because I'm curious on both.
Okay, so the business side of it, I don't have a problem with any of the business stuff. They have to do it. There needs to be a salary cap. There needs to be contracts. The guys need to fight for guaranteed money, even if it is a little bit lower than the NFL. Obviously, it needs to be guaranteed. That's going to put teams in deficits. It's going to put people in salary cap hell. It's going to turn a very lucrative system, because they're not paying the players. No wonder they make so much money in college athletics. The players don't get paid. So fucking A, man, if I had free labor, I would make a ton of fucking money. So I mean, come on, let's be real about what we're talking about here. So the players have to be paid correctly. They need benefits. They need pensions and annuities and everything else that you get at the highest levels of competitive sports you can do at the college level. So they've got to figure it out. I don't want the NCAA involved. They are the fucking clown show. They've got to figure out a way to just get rid of that entity so they can move forward there. But all of the business stuff has to happen, man. I agree with Coach Rule that the revenue sharing is paramount. You know, it forces the young guys to act like adults. You know, you get an agent, get a money manager, do things fucking right. No more of this I'm a kid shit so I can get away with fucking up, yada, yada, yada. Nah, that ain't going to fly no more. And it's amazing to me that football is like the only sport that can't handle this. But in basketball, baseball, and hockey, and golf, just like pretty much every other sport, swimming, everything else, the younger you start, the better. You can be a professional as early as 16 in a lot of these sports. But football, you got to wait until you're 22, 23 to learn how to manage a checkbook and do things directly. So I think that the business aspect of it has to happen. 100% has to happen. Now, the walk-on thing, okay?
Removing the walk-on.
Eliminating walk-ons from college football is a disastrous idea. I think it's a terrible idea. I mean, if they want to pay their own way and come to the team and contribute, that's one of the frameworks of the game. So many great players that I knew and played with that were walk-ons. Just off the top of my head, just great players that were walk-ons that are Hall of Famers. J.J. Watt. I mean, fuck, man. Give me a break with this, you know. T.J. Ward was a fucking walk-on. Like, Clay Matthews was a walk-on. There's bad motherfuckers out here that just didn't get an opportunity to get recruited and had to walk on. Some great players that I've worked with that have taken walk-on opportunities and parlayed them into massive opportunities that have gotten them in the NFL. So
wasn't Antonio Brown a walk-on?
Antonio Brown's a walk-on. Yeah, dog. Like, this is essentially like saying that there's not going to be any more undrafted free agents in the NFL. It's dumb as fuck. I mean, it's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. So,
man, isn't it the fucking fabric of college sports? I don't know.
Oh yeah, man. The ability to walk on, especially like you brought up Nebraska, their walk-on program forever was elite as fuck.
The black shorts. How are you gonna eliminate the walk-on though when and actually adhere to Title IX A? How are you going to adhere to freedom of enrollment? Like, they cannot stop that kid from going in there. See, again, Matt and I talked about this the other day.
Stop him from coming on the team.
You got 10 semesters, 5 years on a scholarship. It's the same thing if you walked on and paid your institutional fees. If you pay your fees out of your fucking pocket, guess what? You are obligated and are owed 10 semesters or 5 years. If that's what that person wants to do, that's what they pay. It was always the allowability to go out and try out for your team. How about fucking Rudy? How about all these different people that have done it in the past that we've made movies about? Like, this is the fabric. This is the fabric. I don't know. This is a slippery slope, Matt. I'm just telling you for all this shit.
Now, look, I respect walk-ons. I just hate Rudy. I don't know why I hate him so much. All Rudy gets done. Look, I understand Rudy made a play and good for him. But in reality, Rudy's girlfriends get a train ran on her in the back of the fucking the back of the party, and they steal his letter jacket and kick his ass, and he doesn't like it, and he transfers to like Stony Brook or some shit. So let's be real. Now, all that said,
be good college.
Yeah, it's good academics. Exactly where he should have gone. But whatever, Rudy's the shit. Look, man, walk-ons are an essential part. They're a huge, fucking, really important part of college athletics, especially football, because so much. What are you just going to eliminate the entire practice team? 85 guys in college football. You're going to be cutting it pretty slim there once guys start getting hurt and like can't play, and your numbers are going to be a little bit down. I mean, Coach, you can talk to this a little bit more, intelligently than Jeff and I can, because you've had to manage numbers like that, probably low numbers I'm sure you've had low numbers in the spring, right?
Yeah, well, so you know how it is, Matt. We get our early enrollees because these are what we call mid-years. And that's what Colorado was probably doing in Deion's first 2 early springs was get mid-years in. Mid-years are basically your real talented transfer shitbirds that we're going to find out if you can make it through a spring or not and make it to the summer. And then the summer,
in January, right?
January, yeah, that's our winter conditioning.
So like
our
early enrollees,
kids,
or the guys you were trying to get in.
And then you bring your 200 in the summer that are mostly your high school signees and signing day, which was in February. In July and reporting day, you bring in 200 of those fucks, and you see numbers game. You see which guys bond, come up together collectively, and create a team, right? So you go through, in essence, 3 different seasons in one. That's why I had a 4-quarter rule. We had 4 quarters, but not only 4 quarters when it comes to quarterly financials in this country, but also 4 quarters of football. So I had winter conditioning, quarter 1, spring ball, quarter 2, summer, quarter 3, and fall season was our quarter 4, and that's how we finished the year out, right? That's the same thing. It's the same concept. I don't know why people don't understand that there are 4 seasons in one. And now, especially in this NIL era, which I just can't fathom doing it right now. It's really like 8 because you're bringing in mercenaries times 2 every single opening that the portal allows. So every single portal opening in January, they're opening the portal during the fucking bowl season the year prior.
Let me ask you this. Do you think, let's mix this, okay? The business part. If you're now paying guys and there's contract busts, but you still have to pay a college kid, but now he's a bust on the contract and he's going to work against your salary cap. And then number 2, Darnell Sweeney came out yesterday and said he's not in the transfer portal because he doesn't want to go. He's not in the transfer portal because the guys there aren't good enough to play at Clemson. Now that sounds a lot more realistic from a coaching perspective than we just don't want to go in the transfer portal.
And I agree. That's at least a standard.
I kind of agree with it. Like,
yeah,
Coach Sanford, you guys know Mike Sanford, obviously. We talk all the time, and he's now in the media, and I don't know how many times he's said it, but he's like, look, 95% of the transfer portal, 5% of the guys that are really good already know where they're going when they jump in, and the other 95% are turds and guys you probably don't want anyway.
That's why they're in the portal, though. I always had the mindset of this, Jeff and Matt. If you can't play there, you'll never be able to play here for me. And that's why I didn't take certain people. And I don't believe we live that way no more. Now it's keeping up with the Joneses.
Definitely. So now think about that. You've got the bust potentially and the portal, and coaches don't want to go in it at all. I think it could be I think it could turn into just like NFL free agency. Like, look, man, they got to take chances on players, and there's going to be guys that don't get paid that much, and you're not going to get a ton of opportunities like these 4- and 5-time transfers. That shit's done once you start making money and you're not producing.
Shaun King said it best. If you're going to give a guy NIL money and he wants to transfer, then he should not be allowed to get NIL money at the new school for a year. Make his ass really sweat it out. Make him really earn the right to transfer and go ahead and chase that greener grass pasture. Because if you're just willing to jump in out of the transfer portal because you got cussed out by your coach or that you just weren't good enough as a true freshman, go ahead, jump out of there. But remember, during the recruiting process, I had to go through a lot of collectives and kiss asses of bureaucrats that I don't want to kiss ass with to pay your ass. And now all of a sudden, I got to lose you after I've done all that fucking legwork. Don't get paid at the next place then. And then you'll start seeing maybe more kids stay and learn and develop some tough skin. And that's what I want to see. Before you get out of here, Matt, we got another guy. We got to show you this one clip real quick of this kid.
Hey, why is CJ Martinez in the comments calling me out for downloading music? Yeah, that's right. I'm a documented internet pirate, motherfucker. I'm one of the first ones. That's right. What?
CJ Martinez is a fucking idiot.
By the way, Rudy was offsides as well.
He was offsides, the fuck.